Before we get started, I want to give a very special thank you to Jay Leno. I published this book of short stories, True Stories and Tall Tales. My name's Ira Ellen Briggs. It's a picture of my mother on the front. She used to drive a Indian Scout. This photograph was taken in Sodus, New York during the wartime, around 42, 43, she said. That was a great pinup picture of my mom. That wasn't her bike, but she drove a Scout. So occasionally I would send one of my book out to celebrities or people I admired and see if I could get a response from them. And I would send them a letter like this that states, you won't be able to see it too good here. I hope you enjoy my book of short stories, True Stories and Tall Tales. I value your opinion. Check one of the following boxes and mail it in the envelope provided. And then I have check off cool or crappy. Then I got this little car stamp I paint that I color up. Now in this case, and then here's my self-addressed envelope up here. So I sent this one out to Jay Leno for the fun of it. Geez, I can't believe the guy. What a cool guy. Like he sent it back. I said I enjoyed reading your book, especially the part about his father when they ordered his Galaxy, I think it was, and listened to some of my vehicles. And they asked him if he could he autograph a copy of my 63 Corvette registration. Just thought it'd be cool. So then when it came to the mail, I was so excited, and all my car buddies were. I can't point it out here. So look, he did. He signed his name, then he put his little caricature of his face up in that corner. And he also did down here too. See it? Oh, and I wrote, can't say I wrote, in the car I got Jay and Mavis. That's his wife's name. And what a cool celebrity. She stuck it out with him all these years. So that was so cool. Thank you, Jay, very much. And as I like to say, in the regular car guy world, we never had a celebrity enthusiast car guy. So we're all us car guys are just can't thank you enough for what you have done for the car industry. You're a car collector, and here's his book, Jay Leno. And now, Jay, I got this at I think it was a dollar store. I still haven't cleaned off the little bit of stickum up there. I was so excited to get this book, Jay, and it's a good reader, easy to read. That's the way it should be. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I can't get over. Geez, Jay, you got your little character twice on there. Unbelievable. That's got to be worth $50 a piece. All right, just had to do what a cool guy. And the only other guy I could think that's kind of as a celebrity that's in the vehicles is I think Brian Johnson of AC/DC. What a cool guy that guy is. You ever seen any of his videos? And that's about okay. Thank you again. In memory of my mother, Dot, the Christian clown, portions of the proceeds of this book will be donated to the Golisano Children's Center of Rochester, New York. Our family's always been into the vintage cars, going back to the 50s. My father started out with Briggs Garage, and then later on we got into Briggs Water Well Drilling. My father's first vehicle is a 23 Franklin he restored, and my brother has it this time. And the Franklin he used to tow it was 49 Chevy convertible. They had a Olds rocket engine in. Then he sold that, and then he bought a 38 Cadillac convertible for like $400, back in the 60s. And he towed the Franklin to shows. I used to crawl under there and wax it and the leaf springs. And but we've had other various vehicles, but he was always partial to the Studebaker Hawk. And I always liked the looks of the Hawks, and I have a silver Hawk. In fact, I got a story about it in my book. So I've been to many car shows, but then I never really saw a Studebaker Avanti. I saw them in pictures, but I wasn't really particularly fond of them. Then when I saw one at a show, I kind of warmed up to them. and that's when I read more about them and their history and all their accomplishments in racing and so then how everything was just a unique vehicle, handmade actually, and done well. And so I started looking. And it's tough to find a low numbers produced vehicle. You've got to travel over the country, and then you got to get there and look at it, make a deal. So I guess I was fortunate that I found one not far from where I live here. I bought it from the son of the third owner after his father was deceased, and he would not move on the price. It was $12,000. Somebody told him it was worth that, and that's what he wanted. And then I felt so sorry for the car because it was kind of in a makeshift barn type carport and exposed on two sides. So geez, I looked it over, and but the whole undercarriage was good, wasn't no rust. The body never original. I'm pretty sure it was original paint, but it was pretty faded, and it'd been hard to bring it back the way it was. I didn't like the gold color. Once it's all faded, didn't look too good. And it just needed everything. The guy just abused it. It needed a radiator and needed a good tune-up. We had an awful time getting it started. And then, but once I heard it run, I was like, man, that sounds cool. And when I heard them dual exhaust, so I got to make a deal on this thing, you know. And I've got new brakes on it. Well, yeah, I had new front pads on the front disc brakes, which weren't hardly working when I got it. The rear ones were all froze up. Needed a radiator, needed a tune-up. I could just see how it was neglected. But what I guess really excited me is he did have the original history on it. And the first guy, whose name is Robert Hickson from, where was he from? Buffalo area, I'll say. Glen Head, New York. So maybe somebody's watching this. And from Glen Head, New York. He was the first owner. And I just liked all the documentation. He did a good job. He traded in a 58 T-Bird, 1958 T-Bird, for $1,200. They allowed him $1,250. The car was $4,250. So he put $100 down and traded in his car and a balance of $2,900. And I've also found it interesting that you can't see it all good here, but at the dealership, and I read this later, that when you got the car, they asked you whether you wanted the mirrors on the fenders or the doors. And it says here he wanted them on the outside fenders, but but they were on the door. So I think I'm assuming that he wanted to get it, and they made a last decision, or they didn't understand them. But I'd rather have them on the, much as I hate drilling holes in the top of those fenders. I might go that route. So he documented really good. Look at all this. Boy, they spanked him good every time he wanted something done. He really kept it up good. That's the first owner. Then at 75,000 miles, that was the other thing I liked about it, was he did have the engine rebuilt. And now it's got 100,000 on it when I got it. So 25,000 on the engine. Isn't too bad. But boy, what a... then when I got it home, and when I started starting to restore it here, I see somebody did get the engine out. I hope they had a real reputable person restore it, because what a hack job they did putting it in. Now some of the bolts, all the bolts are loose on the transmission bell housing. The motor mount bolts are loose. They hacked a chunk out of the shield on the distributor. And they hacked a hole out of the air cleaner because they, couldn't figure out how to put it back together. But whatever. So I was very excited to get it, even though the poor old girl, I wanted to rescue it from the third owner. Second owner, there again, his name was, it's turned here. This guy's name is Michael McGowan, and he's from Orchard Park, New York, which is around Buffalo. But there again, very good documentation on it. He took good care of it, and we won't mention the third guy. But so that's how I got my Studebaker Avanti, and I was really excited to find one not far from home, and it was in good condition. I think it was probably worth a little less than that, but by the time you go, keep searching and searching. And as you know, if you're looking for any type of vintage vehicle, if you're out of state, it's hard to go take a look and make a deal, get it home. So I think I was fortunate to find one, and though I might have paid a little bit more for it. Oh yeah, here's this is my folder here. Look at. And here's Alice Cooper. I saved this article. Alice Cooper has a 63. There he is there. School's out for summer. Did he do that song? And the third owner, I just noticed he did a lot of repairs as needed. And whoever his garage mechanic was, wasn't very desirable. And here's an example right here. This was like one front lens must have been broke. So somebody took a hunk of plastic and somehow they heated it up and melted it and got a little bit concave, but not awful. Though I do understand that even a reproduction lens is $100, but that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, one more. And one thing to say about the third owner, the son of the deceased owner, country folk, which I can totally relate to. That's cool. But his wife said that she was at work and everybody asked her, like, what'd you get for Christmas? And she goes, well, I got a pistol. And they go, oh, some crystal? She goes, no, Bowser got me a pistol. I got a pistol permit. So I thought that was funny. So I thought that was cool. But the car really been abused. Poor thing. We'll bring you back. Here's some pictures of my Avanti before the restoration. One of my son, Uncle Jimmy, who's not really our uncle, the family cat in the back window, and some pictures of me doing some priming and sanding. Welcome to Briggs Garage. It's my 1963 Studebaker Avanti that I'm restoring at this time. I did restore a 60 Studebaker Hawk for my father, which was an Antique Automobile Club of America senior winner. Big deal. Anyhow, I'm doing this pretty much in the same fashion. I like to do them up nice and then drive them, and so be it. At this point, I steam cleaned the undercarriage and wire brushed her real good with a cup brush. And then I painted a whole undercarriage with nice black enamel. Now I've taped it off, and I'm doing the under wheel wells. It's quite a it was pretty foggy in here a little while ago, and I guess I do got a little bit of a painter's glow on, as they say. All right, there are the wheel wells. There's so much involved to tape these off to do it this way. The rubbers were bad, so I did pull them off the doors. Door jambs. So I did the door jambs. My dad always spoke of when he had the body shop, how the guys would be taping them off and they'd start reading the paper. Not get too much, have to get on them a little bit. All right, and then here's the front wheel well. I don't know if you can see it very good. It's the first time I painted a metallic paint, so I'm practicing a little bit. My nephew had to straighten me out as I kept trying to put it on shiny, the two-stage, and but I think I got the knack. I'm just about ready to do the firewall. As you can see here, it's very tedious, but you're better off taping off everything pretty good. It'll look pretty decent when I put it back together. The engine's I've already prepped and painted that. You'll see that later on. Painting a vehicle in this manner without doing a full restoration, which you know can be real time consuming or costly, however you want to look at it. This is a real big deal today to do the firewall engine bay area, and under the wheel wells, door jambs, and over here I've done the bottom side of the trunk lid. And there again, that metallic. Seems like when I move it, you get a little different lighting, but I think it came out pretty good. Now I have to do it clear it a little bit. I'm still working on getting the hood ready. Here's something they don't teach in auto body school. I wet sanded this probably a month ago, and I had it in the basement, nice and clean area. And it keeps oozing water out. So I took these napkins and put them up there, these towels. It's like sucking it out. I wanted to paint this evening, but I am having an issue. As you know, water and paint aren't really compatible. Look how that soaked it up. It almost draws it out. So that's it for now. I'm gonna have my son video me doing a little bit of the firewall. Also, I would like to add that generally I prepare a vehicle. I put a lot of primer on, then I wet sand it with 320 to get it smoothed up, and then I'll use a 12 or 1500 to really get it clean and rinse it off nicely. I've seen a lot of different videos of different people's, I don't know how much time and effort you want to put into painting a car or how perfect you want it, but I always found that worked pretty good. I'm about ready to do inside the firewall area, engine bay. One thing intriguing about these 63 Studebaker Avantis is 63 Corvette didn't do their bodies in-house. They had them produced in Ohio, and Studebaker Avanti also had their bodies produced by the same company as Corvette. So I have a 63 Corvette, so I find that interesting. The other thing, yes, this is number 803 of the assembly line. As you can see, without taking the engine out and the wire harness, I'm going to try to work around it and still get a halfway decent looking job. Of course, it's kind of tough to figure out how to get through this wiring harness to try to get the, so I come up with this brainchild idea. Okay, here we go. I like to call this changing the baby's diaper. I think this is how my mother used to change my diaper. You got to pick me up by this, and then you want to slide that diaper underneath. There we go. There's baby's diaper under there. Try to hold them the other way a little bit. This is the morning after the big spray. Fairly happy with everything. Haven't done a lot of metallic painting. Bottom of the truck looks pretty good. I'm okay with that. Now, if you want to do a super full restoration, you better have a lot of years left in your life and a lot of drive. So at my age of 66, I'm just trying to make a decent looking job of it. My favorite part is taking the tape off. Ooh. Rubber, if you clean it good with some lacquer thinner, you can usually get tape to stick to it. That was kind of cool. I had these numbers from the factory. I didn't want to paint them. From the factory that was painted with the hinge on it, as I said before. Under the wheel wells, I'm pretty happy. It took 2 gallons of paint to actually do under, by the time you do the body, under the fenders, bottom side of the hood, the engine compartment, and if I end up doing the rims, if I use the original rims, it's going to take at least 2 gallons of paint, 2 gallons of clear and hardener. All that come to about $1,000. So I was going to kick out when guys say, "Oh, would you paint my car?" And then they want to drive in the salty ass winter, some piece of crap. The hood, I'm not real happy with the bottom side. As I say, I'm not real good with metallic, so I might have to try to do this area again. Studebakers, like Corvettes, they're fiberglass bodies, but I didn't dare try to, if you try to take these bolts off, sometimes you rip it out on the inside. So I didn't dare. The other hinge came off. This one here, I've had to paint it on the vehicle. Well, you could ever, I don't know how you would do it. They'd have to like cut the heads off them and drill them out. All right, there's a front wheel well. Boy, I'll tell you, it was quite a workout yesterday trying to get under here. Unbelievable. Imagine and actually prime this, wet sand it. You can't make it out real good, but it shows there's quite a bit involved. I don't want to really take all everything off yet because until I get the outside painted. And I'm real happy for around this came out pretty good. I literally takes I think I was 4 or 5 days trying to tape this vehicle off. I can't wait to pull everything off the engine, show you that, but I'm going to keep everything covered up good till we get the outside of the car painted too. The bumper spray, what other things are going about? Door jambs. That was a real challenge trying to get her around to do door jambs with the doors out of it. Now there again, I'm not going to remove the doors and all that. All right. The Studebaker Avantis, they had real issues trying to get the doors to line up on them. These are fairly good. Other wheel well. That's it for now.